Dragonshire, game number 1, Ruby Wings goes up against Fools and Heroes, and this is Division 7. We are all the way down in the salt mines at this point. Ruby Wings was... yeah, that's the Brightwing ban right away. So I'm not quite sure if I should be happy about this or sad, because why would you ban a hero that is literally a handicap if the other team picks it? So Fools and Heroes, they're currently trying to make the game a little bit more even. They've heard that Ruby Wings in the past has actually picked Brightwing, and they're saying, guys, no, we want a challenge. We don't want a free win. We want to make sure that we have a tense game here because we know we're getting streamed right now. We don't want that free win. Ban Brightwing out. Make it a fair fight. I appreciate the setup. I like the competitive spirit here. Mal'Ganis gets banned and Lucio gets banned out too. God, I like these boys. I really, really like them. Yes, you can obviously argument here that this is a wasted ban. And let's be honest, kinda is. But they want a challenge. And you see, this is a team that looks at the game and they don't think about winning. They're saying, we want to have a game like Spartans, you know, they want an opponent. They don't want a victim that you can bully around on the map. They want a real opponent, something that they can fight down, where they can be proud after the victory, after they stand over the dead corpse of Brightwing. Whoever said this was a tough fight? No one ever, exactly. So now we're going to see a little bit of proper action here. I want to say, by the way, that Ruby Wings, memes aside, is, as far as I know, the team that back then, a few weeks back, had that insane game on Infernal Shrines that lasted, I think, 40 minutes. So nobody wanted to end that. We might see Infernal Shrines today, but our first map is Dragonshire. Garrosh picked, Reyna chosen. Can try and hold his penetrating round back a little bit to push that out. And there's the Malfurion pick. Support choke activated. I mean, what do you get if you're on Dragonshire and you want to get a support at this point? You can still rely on Tyrande. You can still go for Stukov. There's so many good supports out right now. We've seen Rhaegar at the Nexus contest, for example. Can play around Deckard if you want to. It's actually pretty insane. Whitemane is also fine. And Jaina. Garrosh, Jaina, and Whitemane. Alright, have fun breaking through that. Lot of burst damage now too. And with the bans, we could see the focus onto the offlane right now. The next two picks are going to Ruby Wings, so they could choose their offlaner and then simply decide that they want to ban out whatever threatens that offlaner at the top. Blaze could be banned out. Again, in Division 7, we're not so much talking about bunker, we're actually talking about combustion being a problem. So if they're afraid of the AoE, that would be a ban. But they ban out Leoric, first and foremost. So no more Leo on the map, no janitor in this game. And there's still the possibility of a Diablo ban. Diablo, Johanna, Muradin, and Uburak, they're all still up there, and we haven't really seen a single frontliner taken, or a single melee hero taken for that matter, from Ruby Wings. So you could ban out that out too. Leo ban. What is Leo specifically? I mean, we've... okay, that's the frontline ban. Johanna. But I want to see what the offlane pick is. If you ban out Leo, who do you want for the offlane? We've seen a lot of Leo bans when teams wanted to go into an Arthas on the offlane. So I'm not sure if that's something that has already made waves in terms of spreading the news down all the way to Division 7. But if it did, that would explain that Leoric ban a little bit more. Or they go for Blaze. Blaze and Gul'dan. Now the eternal question. Combustion or bunker? And I mean, let's face it, it's Division 7. Can it be something else but combustion? Can that be happening? I doubt it a bit. Dragonshire. And the last two picks coming in now for Fools and Heroes. And we currently have them in need of a top laner. Urel and Falstad. He's not a real dad, he's a false dad. And Urel can of course claim top lane pretty easily. Like, she is still one of the strongest solo laners in Dragonshire because she has that mobility that allows her to jump between the lane and the shrine, so you can always outpace your opponent there and force them to make a decision. With Blaze of course too. And Falstad can start flying to the top and turn it into a 2 versus 1 fight whenever he has a chance there. Last pick coming in, and it is Diablo. Diablo, Blaze. That's a pretty sweet setup for Ruby Wings here actually. Not too many Monka-S picks at all. Falstad may be the only one that's a little bit iffy. But again, he can add a lot of value. He has the global too, and depending on the setup, I mean, is it going to be Hinterland Blast? Is it going to be the Mighty Gust? Probably the former, because it does damage. So let's jump in. Dragonshire, game number 1 here in Division 7. Game on! Ruby Wings against Fools and Heroes. Division 7 of Heroes launch, and to the left, Olivia Frost on Reyna, Fromage on Malfurion, Bat on Gul'dan, Salt Creek on Diablo, and Ghostia on Blaze. If I remember correctly, Ghostia was the Malthael player that was taking camps all day long on Infernal Shrines 2 or 3 weeks back and just went on to the PvE game all day long. Ghostia said, I'm done with you guys, I'm done, I'm gonna go PvE right now. To the right side of the map we have their opponents, Fools and Heroes with Genji Benji on Urel, Jack Rip on Falstad, ooh, I remember you too, Klong on Whiteman, Odijop on Jaina, and Artorios on Garrosh. I'm seriously starting to remember a lot of these names from the Division 7 games, and we've casted both of the teams in the past. And I was not so sure about the Falstad pick, but now that I see who plays it, Jack Rip already played Falstad on this map. And I can't remember what he played in the second game of the series that we casted from Fools and Heroes, but I can tell you one thing, Jack Rip on both of the heroes that he played absolutely dominated, and his Falstad play was pretty sick on this map. So this is by no means going to be an easy game for Ruby Wings. Fools and Heroes, they're playing their preference picks here. They played a very similar style in the past and with great success. If I remember correctly, they took that series with a 2-0 back then. And he went into Hinterland Blast at that time and got a ton of last hits in with his ult. So I'm excited. This is going to be a good one. Good rotation, by the way, in the 4-man here that we're seeing from the blue team. So they're playing around that right now. Mid lane still being pushed out. Not a lot of wave clear on those two, so they're definitely delayed in it. When you look at the talents, we have a Lightning Rock focus from Jack Rip going into Wingman on level 1. And surprisingly enough, we see Jimmy go into the stacking quest on level 1, the veteran marksman. You don't see that a lot simply because you need a ton of stacks in order to get value compared to Ace in the Hole, which during team fights, especially with slows provided through the oil spill that we will get from Blaze and also roots from Malfurion and other talents, would get you a 15% damage advantage. So I'm a little bit surprised that that talent comes in because, yeah, stack quests are fun, but at the same time, usually this one in particular doesn't really give you the value. You need like 60, 70 stacks to make a difference there, and that's very unlikely. Salt Creek thrown in, good damage comes out from Jaina. Fools and Heroes trying to go for the kill, but they cannot secure it right away. Though the 4 talents on both sides, but a Siege Giant camp now pushing through the bot lane for the team in blue and giving them a little bit of a lead. The Wingman build gets continued with the Lightning Rod here. Falstad starting to make the way into the middle to push that out. And more stack quests. More better. That's pretty much what Reyna is thinking here. Going into the Behemoth armor. Olivia Frost, she wants those numbers. Gets the numbers in slowly and steadily with the auto attacks against the heroes here. And well, if that is going to be a long game, to be fair, there might be a chance to get a lot of value late game. But it's all about the auto attacks right now. You have to weave those in continuously with that third attack. Give them some pepper. Activate the trade. Proc it. Falstad comes in. Garrosh, maybe in trouble. Throws in Diablo. And both of the tanks are all of a sudden as a focus point here. Jack Rip tries to get the kill. Oh, burrows it deep, but overextended and goes down. That bird was on suicide watch. Yep. Barrel rolls right in, greets a little bit for the kill, then the heal comes through from Fromage on his Malfurion, and that is a dead bird right there. Good kill from Ruby Wings in the first one in the game, should allow them to hold that shrine at the bottom of the map a bit longer. We still have, of course, the dominant position from Genji Benji and his Urel at the top. As pointed out a bit earlier, the big advantage of having Urel at that top lane is that she can, with her abilities, jump onto the shrine and back onto lane very, very easily. And that allows you to get a lot of control over that lane. But Olivia Frost channels the Dragon Knight in the middle. Nobody paying attention as the rotation comes in. Jack Rip was busy. He was taking a camp. It's a tough battle to fight. Do you take the objective? Do you take the camp? It's an easy decision. You go for the mercenary camp. That's the Division 7 mantra, and you have to adhere to that. That's the rule. That's what you do in Division 7. Camps are important. No camp, no competition. But now we're still seeing a level 7 talents in, and for both of the teams, which gives up the Divine Steed for Urel. Intercession for Whitemane, so that's going to be a good one. But the rotation from the Dragon Knight into the middle, and they're having to play this a little bit more careful. So again, bit of... That's actually a cool move, because, okay, so what we just... Okay, that on the other hand negated it again. So one of the things that you want to do with the early Dragon Knight in particular, you see how quickly it was burned down by those towers? So what you do is, you just use the lightning or your breath, the dragon breath, onto the minion waves that come through. You wait for your own minions to approach the towers, and then you engage and start to take down the structures. Because the tower shots will be soaked by the minions. So that means your Dragon Knight is going to get a lot more value. If you look at it, they got a Dragon Knight, they didn't destroy a single structure down at the bottom, and here at the top they didn't take anything either. So that Dragon Knight was pretty much useless. I mean, they didn't really get anything out of it, if you're honest. They get a bit of damage on those structures, but that's pretty much it. So if you want to play that better, that's a good gank though. That should lead to a kill. Ghostia is trying to move out, Jack Rip with a barrel roll, yep. And that is going to be a dead Blaze, I hope. Yeah, he goes down. So again, if you want to get more out of the Dragon Knight, people often underestimate how long a Dragon Knight lasts. They really think that they have to rush into the towers or into the wall immediately. You have time. Take your time, wait for your team to rotate if they have to, wait for your minion wave to move in, just use the AoE against the minion wave. Oh my god, the bird is dead again! Diablo with a quick engage here, well done. But yeah, just hold the Dragon Knight for a bit longer. And also, when you see that Dragon Knight is about to expire, don't kill it. Just move back, even if you're like 10% HP. Keep it alive and just use the wave flare continuously against the incoming waves. So then you get more value out of it. So in case that you find yourselves in Division 7 or Division 6 and you have a bit of a problem with that, keep that in mind for the next time you play on Dragonshire, and it is going to give you a lot more value for your DKs. Salt Creek with the anchor play at the side. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, there's the check. But this one is going to be taken for sure. I really like the way that Salt Creek is currently making the engages happen against Falstad as well. Because as I said before, in the previous Division 7 game where we casted Fools and Heroes, Jack Rip did really well. But this game he is getting quickly bullied by Diablo whenever he appears on the map. And so far we have 2 kills against him. One was a bit of a suicidal move where he committed Sudoku by barrel rolling into the opponent's team. But outside of that, he is definitely put under way more pressure than he was in the past. 12 stacks now for Livia's Frost level 1. Keep in mind, she needs a lot of stacks for this. And 10 on the Behemoth armor. So it gives you an initial boost in HP, but of course it's really also the quest that you're trying to get. 10 abilities, as expected. Hinterland Blast going to be taken. Not really a lot of fights happening currently in this game. It is the first one of the series, but it feels that both of the teams are a little bit hesitant to engage into big battles. And boys, we have Bunker! We actually have Bunker! No combustion in this game. And everybody that has watched the Nexus contest and anything else is like, of course, dummy, what else would they take? Oh, the bird! White main value, but there's the lockdown and the fear. Barely surviving. White main with the mass value here. Great job on the side of Klong, making sure that they are not going to lose the bird again. Top lane pressure. Jaina in the middle, but a few heroes rotating over. In comes Falstad, once more Diablo, the stun is there. Olivia with a hit, Ring of Frost hits Jimmy and boom! To the face. Reyna was shocked, then he was awed because we saw the quick Hinterland Blast straight to his face after the lockdown. Good combo from Fools and Heroes. But definitely coming back to the setup that I was talking about earlier, Bunker is something you don't see a lot in Division 7. Because most teams can't really coordinate well through Bunker. That's why you see Combustion a lot more often. So it's actually a pleasant surprise to have that taken now. Jack Rip with the Wingman is able to get the camp stolen. Yeah. In the meantime, an attempt to channel the Dragon Knight maybe. Alright, there's an attack onto Diablo. The taunt is in! And down he goes. Diablo dead and Fools and Heroes about to claim the first Dragon Knight for themselves in this game. They grab it. And now the value sought in the middle. And again, same principle. Burn the wave down, play a little bit slower, don't necessarily engage immediately, wait for that minion wave to come in. As you can see right now, the farther he's getting baited in, the more damage he's going to get. They're trying to get the damage out here, and they're going to get this one eventually. But now, finally, he can start attacking everything without being burned down so quickly, because the minions are there. So next time, just wait a bit. Your opponent is going to be forced to try and go for wave clear. But they get the fort regardless. Horrify being used, and the ult on Urel. Saves Diablo. Shock and awe. And it sizzles and frizzles, batters nose hairs at this point. Gul'dan definitely losing a little bit of his fur when that came in, but he doesn't fall. The 13 talents now, also bringing us, amongst other neat things, the Thunder Strikes for fall stats, so the Lightning Rod with a little bit more damage, and that build, of course, continues to get stronger the more bribe stacks you get through. There's the attack. Hyperion comes through. Nicely played. Also, ult from Whitemane, trying to keep them alive here. The bunker on the ground, saving Ghostya for now. And they go straight for Jaina. Diablo is looking for the engage. Apocalypse! And they get one! The Ring of Frost with the damage. Jet Propulsion in against Urel. Genji Benji trying to jump out. The Blizzard stops Diablo. And they might even get the kill, and indeed they do. Falstad gets another Lightning Rod charge in. And that's the end of the frontliner for the blue team. He is down, and the fiesta continues here. As we see in the damage output, Jaina on 24,000. Gul'dan looking for the stacks. Jet Propulsion against 2. But Ghostya is in trouble, and Falstad is trying to zone them out on the side with a bit of a flank. In comes Urel and just hops onto the face of Blaze, but dies to the fort right afterwards. So Urel goes down, but so did Blaze, and the fort top lane, it falls too. So 2 forts down now, and a significant lead for Fools and Heroes. Able to get a few additional kills and take the structures down, which is even more important in this setup. And the fights are going to continue here. Stacking process, by the way, already completed a while ago for Gul'dan. So we have them with the Echoed Corruption at this point. Going to be really solid for them. Stacking process continuing also with 25 stacks now on the Behemoth Armor and 27 on her level 1 talent with the Veteran Marksman. Well, that in particular is still a bit of a concern, but at least on the hit point end, it starts to look a bit better for them. Then again, I have to highlight it once more, Fight or Flight is just usually the better talent to take on level 4, especially when you're going up against the Ring of Frost and also against Hinterland Blast. The reasons are pretty simple. The burst damage is not only strong, but at the same time it's very telegraphed too. So you can literally just activate it yourself and then make sure that this combo does less damage to you. But of course, the longer the game lasts, the more your hit point pool is going to increase. And if we're ending in a very, very late stage of the game, then Behemoth Armor can add value. But right now, Reyna definitely a little bit more vulnerable than he usually would be. Oli Job is already trying to test that out here on the side. But the camp is about to be claimed again. Top lane, Blaze is thinking about moving in. Here at the bottom of the map. They're getting the flip over. Salt Creek has to be careful. Camp has not been taken. Hyperion and Diablo jumps in even deeper. Falstad with another kill. Moves down. Gets the 2 bribe stacks through and steals the camp. And now the blue team is falling apart. There comes the quick Hinterland Blast. And that's the end of Malfurion. They get another kill against Jimmy. 8 kills against 3. 16 as talents in their hands. And Blaze at the top lane is just interrupted in his thought processes the entire time, but just a ring-a-ding-a-ding as his entire team gets blown to pieces. Falstad flies in onto the temple, onto the shrine, and they're going to try and get another one. Blaze is moving mid lane. He's trying to interrupt this, but all the way down to the bottom of the map, we have Bada in a horrible position right now. Horrify might be able to save him. Nope, not even that. Another kill secured, and now this is going to be the end of another fort. Bam! All of a sudden, Fools and Heroes, they are just taking names here. I mean, they are obliterating them. They are squashing them easy peasy. The early game was more so the blue team that was actually starting to set the pace of the game. But right now, very, very different setup. Jack Rip again, trying to make sure that Ghostya falls, interrupts the jet propulsion, cuts it short, and that should be Blaze falling. Blaze actually with the bunker, and dodges barely. But we've seen the Dragon Knight taken by Jaina during all of this, so she's going to get that one in. Starting to push it out as well, and already moving into the middle keep here. Bottom lane, by the way, has changed a little bit. That fort that looked like it might fall 100% has now been saved for the time being, and Ruby Wings have now their level 16 talent. We're having another approach through the mid lane from the Dragon Knight plus Urel, but Diablo is already there. Is trying to turn this here around and allow maybe a kill opportunity for his team to negate some of that pressure that we're seeing. It's starting to become a bit tough. Also adjustments that are made from Reyna, and I don't really like them too much. Give me more on level 16. I mean, if you're already going into that talent, that's another big argument for taking Fight or Flight on level 4. So if you actually do that, then you should also take Fight or Flight. Normally it's really better to Pain and Rat Take that. Gives you more control, more heals. Horrify, the kill against 1. Do they get 2? Urel, oh, gets interrupted in the combo of Salt Creek. Damn! Diablo with a combo potential. Stun, walks around, Apocalypse, slam into the APOC, turns around again and slams Urel into another fort. Stun after stun after stun. Urel couldn't even do anything there. And they get that kill. Double kill for Ruby Wings. The game by no means over yet. We still have no fort taken down on the red side. Fools and Heroes still hold on to every single one of their outer structures. But they are definitely suffering a few kills at this point in time. And we're already seeing the attempt to take this down now. Falstad flies in and attempts to prevent it, but I don't think he alone is going to be able to do a whole lot here. I actually think he needs to be really careful that he doesn't get taken out too. And they take the fort. Problem is the experience. That's the biggest concern that we have from the blue team. Ruby Wings with an attempt to steal the camp away. Diablo again with the anchor play here. Has been doing well so far in this game. And they steal this. Easy peasy. Let's take a quick look at the damage numbers here. I mean, 33,000 from Gul'dan. Completely Echo Corruption was important. Falstad, thanks to the Hinterland Blast, is looking at 29,000 damage. Not quite on the same level as Jaina, but he's definitely getting there. He's having ballparking at this point. It's a level 20 talent for Fools and Heroes that they're waiting for. This is really what they want right now. They're going to try and get that talent first. But as you can see, experience, particularly the passive experience, heavily in favor of Fools and Heroes. And that's because they've taken so many structures. And the level 20 talent is finally in. And that gives us even more damage output from Falstad in particular through his level 20 choice. Another attempt for the camp at the bottom of the map, at least checking it out. But the Call of the Wildhammer, the range and the damage increase, that could be a problem. He's been landing a lot of those, and he uses them for a lot of the last hits as well if a hero barely moves out of the fight. But with a good bunker, you could really negate a lot of that. Ghost is there, was trying to go back because the top lane is getting pressured soon. They don't really want to take a fight here. This is actually the moment when I expected the red team to try and move out a little bit more aggressively in trying to force this. But the shrines are activating in a second, and of course that means that eventually we might see Ruby Wings head into battle because they need to play around that somehow. They're trying to take another camp now themselves. The bird might be a bit of a concern. Didn't go for Epic Mount or anything, which I personally think is a fantastic talent, especially in the later stages of the game, because you're so mobile on a map like Dragonshire that allows you to just take these points quite easily. But we have now level 19.5 nearly for Ruby Wings. If they are able to rotate around a bit and delay the Dragon Knight, they could have a chance of forcing a fight around level 20 abilities instead of going into battle with the talent advantage for their opponent. So they start to move down to the bottom of the map. And if they make that rotation quick enough, they should be in a decent spot. They need 1-2 more minion waves and they should be golden here. They make the rotation, Diablo is sneaking in, and they steal this one away. And the red team is apparently trying to just steal the camp away. They're not forcing anything. They're not going for an objective. They're not forcing anything, even with the global that they have. They allow their opponent to get level 20. That's going to happen. If they just move mid lane, take the last minion wave here, they will have level 20, and then they can finally take the fight on even footing. That's the fair play moment that I expect from Fools and Heroes. If you ban already the two handicapped heroes, Brightwing and Lucio, then yeah, it just figures that you would also wait for your opponent to get the same talent as you before you take the fight. There's a 20 versus 20. Blaze isn't there. They have a 4-man at the bottom, and they're trying to go in. He's trying to stun out one of them, and they go straight for Whitemane. One stun, one push, and here comes the big move from Gul'dan, and the kill as Diablo dives in deep, but Reyna falls as the Ring of Frost is in. There is no Blaze. They don't have Blaze, but they might get the kill against Jaina regardless. She's still ice blocking it here, and now Blaze is finally back. Nice throw by Garrosh, moves Oddjob out of the fight, but Urel is in deep and way too deep. Gets the stun into the corner. Diablo butting them again, and the jet propulsion against 3. The damage output is there. Diablo nearly falling though, and barely the red team able to walk out of the fight with only a single kill, and the 5 versus 4 setup still ending with a 1 versus 1 trade here, basically in favor of Ruby Wings. They still have full health bars here, and they are now starting to rotate on the map. This is starting to work out quite nicely for them. Good late game pressure by them. The attempt to go for the Dragon Knight, and nobody is going for the Shrine here. Are they going middle? Seems like that's going to be the case. Blaze is top lane. Here comes the face check. Push, flip, trying to push out again. The throw and the damage from Gul'dan. Gul'dan again with the echoed corruption, but already Jaina's trying to follow it up with a quick cone of cold. Doesn't connect it though. Blizzard was in as well. Everybody's starting to move in again, but down to the bottom of the map. Falstad has reclaimed one of the shrines, so no immediate threat of the Dragon Eye to be taken by any of the teams. Reyna is back. He's trying to get his stacks together here too. Artorius, are they going to go for it? The camp is there. Gul'dan might get the damage in. Apocalypse again gets thrown out though. And here comes the taunt. They go for Diablo. The Horrify is hitting 3. And they're getting insane damage onto Whitemane. And she gets bodied by Diablo. He is wrecking them. Another kill by him. He goes for Yrel. And Salt Creek is just a terror. But in the middle, Jack Rip has tried to get the Dragon Knight. We have the rest of the team rotating to the bottom of the map to reclaim one of the 2 temples. And now, of course, the potential for them to grab a DK themselves. The keep in the middle has already taken some damage, but if they get a Dragon Knight now for the blue team, they might be able to just turn this entire game on its head. Already, top side, Falstad, considering, okay, where do I go? Do I make the play for the top? Do we go into the middle and interrupt there? In comes Garrosh, and Garrosh is low. Should have waited with that corruption a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. Because you still have a Diablo that is just completely face-checking opponents the entire time. There's the Dragon Knight, and that should be keep. They walk down to the bottom of the map, and they're going to try and get at least the keep out of this. Maybe even more. 21 minutes into the game. A keep is the least that you have to get here. Keep is the least that you need to get out of this. Can wait for your own minions. Don't really have to. Burn the wave away first, though. Dragon Knight this late in the game is powerful enough that you can approach the gate without waiting for your minions. It's just the early ones where you really have to make the play. If you can wait, you'll always do that. But you don't have to. And if you have a numeric advantage on the map, that's of course another thing to be considered in these cases. A lot of the ults are ready again, by the way. Don't have to go for the punt there. Now the Dragon Knight is attacked by 3 structures, the core included. That's not really what you want. They should still get it. Ring of Frost against 3! And Diablo again have to even ult to make sure that he's not getting the kills there against Whitemane. Salt Creek is just absolutely obliterating fools and heroes. In all of these engages, the 3-man Ring of Frost on the other hand, also tickling them down in HP quite a bit, but Malfurion is there and he has their back. Also went, of course, into a Twilight Dream. I think one of the things that could have helped them in these fights is Tranquility, which these days is even being picked more often in the higher level plays than Twilight Dream. But of course, the Silence can totally destroy the team fights. 5 versus 5 now, and still the poke happening from the Dragon Knight here. Blaze also setting those oil spills aflame again. And only a few seconds, and then we're going to see Gul'dan back out of the Dragon Knight and could go for Horrify here if he finds the setup. Tries to get the damage in. The move onto Blaze. Here they come again. Diablo is in. Hyperion, the taunt. Diablo in trouble. And there's the Hinterland Blast. But they are trying to get the kill against Yrel, and they find it. Yrel is down. Trade for a trade. And we have 23 minutes in this game. 10 kills against 11. 10 kills against 11 right now. Let's just take another closer look at those numbers. Diablo has died 4 times. Everybody's looking at the bottom. Jaina has never died in the entire game. She came close once. Jack Rip, and he's getting ripped. Down he goes, and he's not the only one. Diablo again with a side attack here. Hellgate being used to stun out Garrosh, and what a game. Damn. I can tell you one thing, that Diablo is an insta-ban in game number 2. Unbelievable. Salt Creek is just wrecking this. The engages that we see from him, the setups for the rest of his team are absolutely fascinating. Jaina hasn't died once. This might be the first time. Gets pushed out again. Where's the jet propulsion? There it is. But she jumps out. Still had the blink there. Uses it. Even locks them down and tries to go for their counter kill. But the rest of the team is already working on the core itself. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the lead. Ruby Wings! They take game 1. They win Dragonshire and take the lead against Fools and Heroes. Volskaya, game number 2, map number 2, Ruby Wings with the lead, and I just want to see how quickly Diablo's gonna get banned in game 2, because, well, Fools and Heroes, they had quite a bit of problems dealing with that bad boy. Salt Creek just went full over 9,000 in his power level. They continue with the Orphea ban, but I think this time we're going to see other bans than Brightwing and Lucio from Fools and Heroes. I don't think they really expected Diablo to just tune it up like he did. That was very insane, to say the least. So, Diablo, do you ban him right away or do you ban him on a second? That's the only question that I have. If they let Diablo through and he murders them again like he did in the last one, I mean, that was really the Lord of Terror. He was terrifying. But they ban out Malfurion first and foremost. Okay. I'm okay with that as well. The follow-ups were always good, so Malfurion is already out. But I would still expect them to change the ban for their second ban now as well. But before that even happens, might be Jaina. Yeah, Jaina is a good ban here. She did really well in the last game. I mean, you can always think about Jack Rip, of course, with his false there too, but it was more so Jaina. She never died, had a couple of really cool moves in the game too, or good Ringers of Frost, and there's a Diablo ban. There's a Diablo ban right away. Who's surprised? Nobody? Yeah, that's right. So let's see if Salt Creek, what else he can add. Is he going to get a Garrosh on his level 1? The first pick, that is. Wouldn't be too shocked if they do that. I mean, you can still play Johanna here. They go for Gul'dan. Okay, the immediate Gul'dan right away. I mean, Gul'dan is already taken out. Jaina and Orphea are both banned, so there's a lot of the mages gone. You still have Li Ming available. But Blaze, to get the position on the objective a bit more, hold it for longer, also deny the opponent the opportunity to go into jet propulsion. Those stuns, they hurt. Especially in the last fight, I think like he hit 3 when he's charged in from the side. And Jimmy is also taken away. So if you look at the setup, they're pretty much taking away every hero except for Gul'dan from last game's team composition. That's what Fools and Heroes have currently done. They banned 2 of them out and they picked 2 of them away. And there's Johanna. And Stukov. So we're playing around the silence right now. Alright. Maybe even a Lurking Arm build from Stukov. Now we've seen in Division 7 a lot of the Spine launch on level 1 or different adjustments here, but given that the map is Volskaya Foundry and you're trying to get those setups and stay a while back, we could actually see them with a full focus onto the Lurking Arm on 1 and 7. And then of course the lockdown on 13 when you get the virulent reaction. And with that said, what do you ban out now? What combos with that? Leo. They don't like Leo. They banned Leo already in the previous games, or did they? No, I think he was banned on the other side, right? So no Leo against Blaze, that's at least the case. Leo is actually pretty sweet here too, because especially in the early game for the first 1-2 objectives, if he dies, you can always try and trade. You trade with Leo because he's just back so much faster when he respawns on the point, so that allows you to get some additional pressure onto the objective in the team fight. Alex Straza, Dragon Form, can zone the opponent out. Ooh, ETC and Blaze. That can work, but it's always a little bit tricky. But we have seen, especially in Division 7, a lot of ETCs get a lot of value, because oftentimes when they're out of position or they play a bit too aggressive, they're not getting punished immediately like they would get at a higher level of play. But with Garrosh banned, you could have still gone for Murden, for example. We talked about the Nubarak too, but they don't have a burst damage behind it. With Jaina and Orphea banned out, that insta burst isn't there. You could go Li Ming though to mitigate that a bit. Ooh, and Genji and Malthael now picked. Okay. Lot of poke through Gul'dan and then Malthael with the last rites as an opportunity. Can of course be negated by a bunker. We've seen bunker as the heroic ability in the last game, but traditionally in Division 7 it's mostly about combustion. So we'll see if Fools and Heroes go and try and use bunker to mitigate the damage coming from last rites, or if instead they're trying to go for combustion and set that up. And there's the Chromie. Chromie played on Volskaya. I think they did that in the past a few times already. And Chromie usually gets a lot of value in Division 7. So let's see if Ruby Wings can make this a 2-0 of Fools and Heroes, turn it around now to claim a map win and force game number 3. Let's jump straight in. Volskaya Foundry. Game on, everybody! Ruby Wings in the lead. Volskaya is map number 2. The map where Fools and Heroes are trying to turn things around here. Now to the left, Olivia Frost on Genji for Ruby Wings. We have Fromage on Stukov. Bata again on Gul'dan. Salt Creek this time. Plays Johanna since this Diablo was banned out. And we have Ghostia on Malthael in map number 2. On the right side of the map though, Genji Benji on Blaze for Fools and Heroes. We have Oddjob on Reyna, Artorios on ETC, Jack Rip, this time on Chromie, and heading into the deep breathing. So focus into Dragon's Breath for him with Klong on Alex Straza. And the more we are seeing here for Fools and Heroes, the more I remember the last series that they played. And if I'm not mistaken, this is actually the same map that they chose the last time when they had map choice. And we see again Jack Rip on his Chromie. Now, he was not quite as successful with Falstad today, and it was the last time we cast the Division 7 here with Fools and Heroes. So they already find themselves behind, but obviously they're going to be trying to force a third map out of their opponent. The question just simply is, can they do that? And a lot of that, it's going to hinge on Jack Rip. If they're able to get a mosh pit through later, if they don't go stage dive, then they have the chance to make a lot happen here. But now the rotation also to the top as both of the teams are going for the spell again. Now we are talking a lot about what you need to do on these maps, what you should do, and let's go straight into another moment. So 1 minute into the map, what we're going to see is those camps spawn. And you probably heard me say that during the Nexus contest, but the idea is that you right away now go for these camps. You try and get that camp as quickly as you can, and the reason for it is pretty simple. If you take the turret camps early, it means that when the objective is active in the mid lane for the first time, your camp will respawn roughly in the middle of it. And then you can take it again and have another turret available. If you take the camp too late, it doesn't respawn in that time frame, which means that your opponent might have an additional item over you. Also, now if a rotation happens from the blue team and they just guard over here this particular beacon, whenever they see a move towards the turret from their opponent, from Fools and Heroes now, they can simply commit fully to getting the healing beacon too and will still be an item ahead. So from that point of view, it's already a win for Ruby Wings here. They already have the better position. Now we're seeing Jimmy down here, and we have also Cleon jumping in, and as you can tell, immediately they're dancing around here, and if they commit right now to the beacon, they would be able to grab that as well. There's 2 heroes already missing, so that's the moment when you're trying to go for the healing beacon. You need to have a bit more of an eye of what's happening with your opponents. But as they don't really pay attention to that, they miss that opportunity, don't take the healing beacon. They still have the earlier claim onto their turret, so that means that they have a chance of getting a second turret during the fight. So now that we have a turret on each side, it's more of an even fight here in the middle. Because keep in mind, if at any point the blue team would have decided to go for that healing beacon and Fools and Heroes would have tried to contest it, they could have still used their own turret to give themselves an advantage in the battle itself. In terms of builds, as already theorized in the lobby, Spine Launcher now for the extra range here, keeping Stukov a little bit safer in the back as one of the talents. We're still seeing the stacking process on Chromie here, and we're going to keep an eye on that. For now, it's 9 stacks on her Sandblast baseline quest. And we have the teams going straight for the camps now too. So pretty even at this point still, but we need to find out how much they can capitalize on that earlier turret grab, if they can capitalize on it at all. Ghostia is getting a couple of style points on the map, riding on the money pick, and that always is a bonus. It like makes pretty much, if you see someone riding the money pick, you know it's a good person. He's a good boy. Ist guter Junge. Top lane. Getting pressured out here, and with that push, only one camp will still be on the lane, but it's already the lead on the objective for Ruby Wings because they take the earlier control, but they still have to rotate someone top to make sure that they're getting the experience there and that that camp is not dropping their turrets too quickly. So at this point, they should still look at maybe rotating better up top and trying to get something done here, but they sent Genji in instead. So already going in right there, Swift striking through. Now that's normally the moment when you're trying to give this one up. You're just trying to hold it for as long as you possibly can with Johanna in one of the corners, but you're willing to give it up at least for the time being. As they're not willing to do that, they actually lose Malthael because they fight a 4 versus 5 and they lose the turret too, which they put on the ground right away. Salt Creek gets stunned out and he is dead as well. Okay, again, the rotation of Genji was good, but you need to be willing to give shit up if you're playing Heroes of the Storm. And that's actually one of the toughest lessons to learn for a lot of the teams. So the right play here would have been, hold it for as long as you can. Once that you're being forced out, you move back, you wait for Genji to come back down, and you re-engage. They have 90% already, and it's not really all lost, but here now you see the play around the turret. This is exactly what I've been mentioning earlier. They have the turret right now. It's just a little bit dangerous to only go there with 2 heroes. But they can take this. Now they take the fight there. ETC is way too far out. They need to punish him immediately for that. And they get a lot of damage in. But that's now the moment when you are trying to give everything you have into the fight. And ETC is already about to fall. Genji goes in, gets the kill. There's still the silence from Stukov. The Dragon Queen is doing work and they're taking down one. But we have Jack Rip in a lot of trouble too. Genji walks away. The turret is taken by Malthael. 90% on the point against 76, and the Dragon Queen was used too. So they can start to move into this again. They lost 2 heroes though, so a little bit of a misplay here in coordination from Ruby Wings. The idea behind it was good, but they are not really punishing ETC as quickly as they should have. The second you see an ETC sliding in like he just did, that's the moment when you just need to pounce on that guy and really take him down. This is one of the things where you see with a lot of ETCs, they're very aggressive, and if they slide in too deep and don't have the support of the rest of their team behind them, you can try and take them down here. 3 versus 4 in the middle, up to the top, the preparation of the next lane. Good thought process here from Fools and Heroes. Level ahead even. You want to prep the top lane for the next objective, and that's what they're doing here. And with prepping, I mean try and take down the fountain, so the opponent can't use that. And also, if you can, take down the fort, if that's an option. Good Iron Skin here. No stun through the power slide that you see from Artorius. Well done here. Genji's moving back again, and Malthael is already to the bottom of the map, trying to get them some experience now too. The damage coming in though, and this is going to be fort number 1 in the game. Great job by Fools and Heroes. Starting to lock in the lead on the second map. 4 kills against 1, nearly a level ahead. Things are looking good for them. But at the bot lane, Malthael is at least getting some pressure in. And he's not able to really take structures down, but as long as he is denying experience to the opponent's team, that's already a big victory here, especially since he's, of course, the one who's trying to grab XP too, to make sure that they're getting level 10. But he can't overstay too long, and there's already a rotation coming his way, but he's able to move out. Especially since he holds a turret, you want to be careful here. 37 stacks for Gul'dan. About to complete his quest, talking quests. We have 33 stacks in Chromie, and Genji goes down. Not protected, by the way. Genji down. That temporal loop definitely giving value. And let's not forget, there is no cleanse. There's no cleanse on the side of Ruby Wings. And the second objective is already heavily in favor of the team in red here. Not only do they take the turret now, with Genji just blown to pieces and them having their level 10, I would have really loved for them to go into this particular point even quicker. If they would have taken this first, when they had level 10 and the heroic advantage, it would have been much easier for them to then rotate down and take the camp on their own side. When you have a massive advantage, like a talent lead or numeric lead on the map, or even like a heroic lead, you want to take the camps or the objectives on the map that are more exposed. So either take the one up here or try and take the one on your opponent's side, because they can't fight you since you're so much stronger at this point in time with the power spike that you have. And then once that it evens out again, that's when you move to your own side of the map and make the play there. But as it stands, we have now 1 turret and also a healing beacon in the hands of Fools and Heroes. Well, we have 2 turrets for the team in blue. And here comes the Blessed Shield. They're trying to go for him. The combustion comes through, but no Horrify used yet. They get the kill against Genji. Here's the kill against Blaze as the last rights connect. And Gul'dan has still not used his ult. Gul'dan not using his ult, and Malthael falling finally. He gets 1 stack on his last rights, but that's not going to be enough. I'm a little bit confused as to why Bata didn't go for the ult here. Had a couple of opportunities to either save or save one hero of their own team, or expose someone from the other team, so that might have been a good one. Blaze with the attempt to jump out there, and I mean, if you do not have a bunker, you can't negate the damage from the last right, so he just ate all of that. And that was a quick kill and a first stack. You can already tell that with the way that the experience is starting to flip right now, the beginning of the objective at the top lane is going to be heavily in favor of Fools and Heroes. Not only because they have taken down the fountain and the fort, but also because at the same time, they are now in a setup where they are actually on level 13. Yeah, Olivia Frost jumping out just before Genji Benji connects the jet propulsion. But the rotation topside is now happening. Malthael still at the bottom of the map, and he's dead. That's going to be a temporal loop. Don't even need that. Full rotation, and boom. Malthael is down. The aspect of death. More dead than alive. And for some reason, they're clearing that wave first with everybody bot lane. If they move top, they're taking a few points for themselves. That would already help them. Can stay there a little bit longer, but they give it up completely, at least for the time being. Still looking for level 13. Lost some experience bot lane. It's one of those tricky things. Like, it's always easy to greed for a camp or for a minion wave because you're thinking, hey, we need this. But once you lose vision, you can't just simply stay very far out on the lane, or if that rotation hits you, you're going to be in a really bad spot. And now that second objective is an easy grab for the team in red. There's still a chance for a play from the blue team. Ruby Wings could try and move in with a turret that they just grabbed and go for it. But if they do, they need to win the team fight quickly. Their level 13 talent is ready. Malthael, on the other hand, he's at the bottom of the map, and that's not where you want him. You want him to make the move up top side now if you're trying to fight for it. And you need to hurry as well, because that's already 60 points on the objective. So Malthael is starting to ride in, but he is still trailing behind, and they need to make the play here. Genji being attacked, Jet Propulsion misses out. And they're starting to go for the objective to contest it. Have even taken a slight lead since objective control was lost. Turrets on the ground very, very early here. And the fight about to start. And now the Malthael is there. Has the ult now too. Backline attack. Mosh pit against 3. They interrupt the Horrify. And ETC's in trouble. But oh my god. Chromie and all the damage that comes from Blaze and Reyna is obliterating the blue team. Ruby Wings, they lose 4. Everybody dies with the exception of Genji. And now they're 2 levels behind. It's 12 kills against 2. And the Protector is about to be grabbed. Great setup here. The corner becoming the tomb of Ruby Wings. Protector is taken and they want keep. They move topside, they go for the keep. They're closing in on level 16 as well. They're not even bothering with moving into the mid lane or the bot lane to get one of the forts. Oftentimes with the second Protector, you will still see teams go for the bottom of the map to prepare for objective number 3 and take the fort and the fountain out. But they feel that they got enough firepower at this point to take a keep completely. And now they have to try and make exactly that play. Last Rites is still up for Malthael. If he gets a setup, he might be trying to get a kill here. But they're just burning down the Protector. That core, or the keep on the other hand, is falling too. And as long as they get that, it's all Gucci. Ghostia with the damage. Malthael in trouble. And the keep is going to fall. They get the keep. And they might get more. Ghostia is down to 400 HP. Could have been a kill here. Jack Rip has his Sandblast quest completed. He has all his quests completed. That goes for his level 1 too. But the Horrify! What a nice Horrify. And a fantastic kill against Chromie. They're trying to get a bit more from Marsh. Is he? Yeah, he dies too. Unfortunate for them. The 16 fight against them was forced upon him, but they are still able to get at least one kill. They might have even been able to get another one. But then Stukov dies. And Stukov also not getting the virulent reaction. Reactive Ballistopores from him. It's a bit tricky. If you have the virulent reaction, that lockdown is just so insane. It's such a fantastic tool if you want to keep someone in the silence and if you want to set that up. Especially after any kind of initiation through, let's say, Johanna with a Condemn, with a Blessed Shield or whatnot. So it's a bit of a lost opportunity, I feel. I think that would have been a great one. 2 stacks on the other hand now for Malthael. I mean, really doesn't do that much for you yet, but it's definitely a cooldown decrease that you can try and play around a little bit. Maybe throw it out a little bit earlier in the team fight and try to rely on a second one there too. If that ever goes to the late game, he might be able to make some plays here. And at least for the next objective at the bottom of the map, we're having fountains on both sides. So that's at least a little bit of a consolation prize for Ruby Wings, because it looks very much so like they might get level 60 by the time that spawns. 20 should still be a bit away from Fools and Heroes, so maybe a chance for them to start and turn the game around through that. The problem, of course, is their top lane. Catapult spawning there the entire time, and very likely the camp is going to be taken now too. Talking about camp. Actually have one taken. Malthael is on the point. They're going for it. Here comes the combustion. Big hits again. And Malthael barely survives. The Horrify is in. Salt Creek in trouble. And once more we have the temporal loop. Johanna falls first. And Berta might die too. Here comes the power slide. Boops her away though. But Gul'dan is dead regardless. Gul'dan already down, another 2 kills, 15 kills against 3 right now. An absolute disaster for Ruby Wings in game number 2. And this is looking more and more like we will see this series being decided in a 3rd game. But it's not over yet, and we have seen insane comebacks in Division 7. We have seen some insane stuff in that division. So again, more pressure at the bottom of the map as they're trying to prepare for the next objective. And since it is a 5 versus 3 for the time being, there's little you can do about that. So they try and take a fountain down. And they succeed in doing this too. maybe even the fort itself. The rotation is slowly coming their way, but they're putting a ton of damage on it, and if they get another protector, it means it doesn't even have to go through this one. ETC is anchoring the side, he's anchoring the flank, making sure nobody moves in, and that is the fort down. And top lane is pushing. Top lane continues to push, and now the objective is up. This is one of those do or die moments when, if you're Ruby Wings, you need to just YOLO it and say, okay, let's go for it and make sure that we somehow win that fight, because if we don't, we are going to lose this anyways. They can't stall it out for too long, because this is eventually going to add pressure at the top towards the core, so they have to force a battle around something. They're looking for a target, and obviously Fools and Heroes, they know it too. That Alexstrasza is pretty exposed, to be honest. But there's also a mosh pit to be considered. That's up in 20 seconds. Not ready yet. Jump onto Alex. Power slide. Genji moves out. And here comes the engage again. Combustion. And the kill against Malthael. Malthael down, and everybody else is dying too. Genji is dead. Gul'dan is down. They're trying to now chase also Fromage here. Johanna has already fallen in the back line, but with now Klong already moving in with his Alexstrasza, this is going to be the end of Stukov too. And now we're having a full 5-man team wipe. And the rotation, maybe even towards the top here with this to end the game. Catapults have already dropped the core down to 97%. More are moving in. And the team is just moving through the map with a protector. 91% on the core. More catapults on the way. They're not even going through the keeps anymore. They're making all the way to the top. Could also just go through the small wall here and then gauge into it. But either way, this is not looking good. There's going to be a 5-man for the defense, but with level 20 talents now too. Flash fire taken here. What exactly are you going to do to turn this around? Besides that, we now have also, in terms of damage, 47,000 for Chromie, 40,000 for Blaze. I mean, Blaze alone has more damage than Reyna. And they're starting to go in here. Catapults again are escorting this in already pretty deep. And with a fight starting up here, this is not looking pretty at all. Olivia Frost with Genji in the backline. Immediately the attack against Ghost here. But they're dancing around. They're actually allowing the Protector to be burned down. And if they don't end the game here, it means that they don't get anything out of the Protector. Nice timeout from Chromie. Really well played. Genji goes in again, is looking for the reset. Doesn't get it though. And now Alexstrasza in the Dragon form takes him down. Malthael falls as well. They're going too deep. I think they could have actually defended with how much Fools and Heroes wasted time trying to fight, but now it's over. 4 heroes dead, and this is going to be game as we have Fools and Heroes forcing a 3rd map in the series, tying the score 1-1, winning Volskaya Foundry. Congratulations, really well played by them. 25 kills against 3 as we are heading into the 3rd and final game of the best of 3. Game number 3, everybody. Ruby Wings going up against Fools and Heroes. And we are on Infernal Shrines. Jumping straight into our 3rd game here. And, well, it is starting to become a little bit tricky for Ruby Wings. They had a great first game, but they got partied in game number 2. And how do you draft here? Do you ban out Chromie? Is that something that you're worried about going on to Infernal Shrines? There's the Ophia ban again. Okay. Well done. Again, Ophia and Jaina oftentimes banned out just because of their burst damage. In any kind of wombo combo setup, you can get a lot of damage in with Ophia and the Shadow Walls. Maybe you're just not used to her just yet and you can't really deal with the style. But they seem to have also a tendency to now ban out Jaina. In this case, it's going to be Blaze though. So apparently no attempts to go into an early Blaze pick themselves. With Diablo being banned out, I could have seen them go into Blaze if they wanted to here. But obviously you can still play Leo at the top lane. I would like an Arthas here. I think Arthas on some of the maps... obviously Arthas has, as a solo laner, already taking a huge priority in a lot of cases. But... especially when you're playing on Infernal Shrines, I feel he adds even more than on other maps. But it's an early arena. Jimmy in game. And look at those bans, by the way. That's exactly the same bans I did in the 2nd map. Never change running system. So they are really, really saying, okay, you know what, guys? We are going to play around the exact same thing. Deny the Malfurion, deny Diablo, and see how they adapt, and we just play our own thing. So, with that... are we going to see that Garrosh pick? Is it going to be a Johanna for the wave clear instead? Alexstrasza, first of all. And Gul'dan picking another one away. But Alexstrasza did good work in the last game already. And on this one now. things are not looking too bad either, with Alex dominating shrines through the dragon form. I mean, if you drop a Tychus into the mix, you have Odin as well, and you have both. Just don't stack it. Delay it a little bit. Ooh, and Asmodan! Alright, Johanna and Asmodan. This is already a stacking setup for Asmodan. Now, I'm already liking the idea behind the stacking process. So get those stacks going. That's what we need here, first of all. And they have the single target damage. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Can live with that. Asmodan game. Me likey. I like it in particular because they have a Johanna with it, so now they can really try and get those stacks quickly. I mean, let's face it, most of the Asmodans that we've seen played so far have lost the game. But it can be a fun hero to be played. Jaina gets banned. Now, I'm not quite sure why you would be afraid of Jaina, to be honest. There's already Reyna and Asmodan on the other side. They still need a support, and I think it's kinda to be expected they also pick another melee. I don't think that you're just playing with Johanna as the only frontliner here. So my personal opinion that Jaina ban wasn't quite needed. Could have gone for something else. But again, better safe than sorry. Some of the Division 7 teams still think it's 2015 and play with a solo frontline. So it could happen. Dehaka and ETC. So global, a bit of push out. But ETC, again, now this time very much alone. No Blaze to save him here or to soak up some of the damage. Slow opponents down and so on. And the last two picks. I want to have a good frontliner. Give me that Arthas. Arthas would still work here. Give me that Arthas and give me a good healer too. Maybe even Rhaegar. But Rhaegar jumps in and bites, and Division 7 is a little bit too aggressive. Tyrande and Leoric, I can deal with that too. I would have preferred Arthas, but that works as well. Getting the Leo in. Tyrande for the extra setup. That's not too bad. Last pick, on the other hand, as we're heading into Infernal Shrines, Ruby Wings against Fools and Heroes, and our last pick goes to more damage. I was thinking about a Phoenix for a second, but I don't think that's the play here. Chromie, again, for the second time. She was a beast in game number 2. Now we see her in game number 3. Let's find out who wins this heroes. Fools and Heroes against Ruby Wings. Game number 1, everybody. We're heading in game number 3. Game number 1 ended in favor of Ruby Wings. Fools and Heroes, they brought it back on game number 2, and now we have an Asmodan composition for game number 3. To the left, Olivia Frost on Reyna, Fromage on Tyrande, Bata on Asmodan, Salt Creek on Johanna, and we have Ghostia on Leoric. And to the right side of the map, we're currently seeing Genji Benji with Dehaka, Odijob on Gul'dan, Klong on Alexstrasza, Jackrib on Chromie, and Artorios on ETC. Alright, let's go, boys. This is going to be good. I want to see how much Asmodan is going to be able to do here. So he has definitely a setup that helps him to stack. Have to run that properly. Poke at the minion wave a little bit, get the globe in, and then go Johanna, talking about getting damage in. Ooh, don't walk into that one. That burrow. I'm not quite sure what he was trying to dodge here. If he was trying to dodge the shot from Reyna, then he was about 2 seconds delayed. But yeah, still a 1. Olivia Frost. There we go. Ah, look at this. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. Don't get me wrong, but it's getting there. There's at least some synergy. First wave through, get 13 stacks. That's quite something. And now we are starting to move down to the bottom of the map and try and complete the process here too. But apparently that was already pushed out. So a little bit of a missed opportunity. The laser is coming in though. And they are still starting to get... now you're on cooldown, bro. Now you can't actually hit this one. So they're already starting to screw up a little bit here. He can't hit anything. He's on cooldown now, so they have to rotate into the middle again and try it once more. There's still a complete wave, nearly a complete wave. No, 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 don't attack the front line. No, 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 no. No, don't kill... nah. Now they get only 3 stacks out of this. Again, they could definitely do this a little bit better. They need to attack the backline, not the frontline minions, and then you just need to stack those. But... we have at least the approach. They're trying. I give them an A for effort here. So at least they know what stacking is. That's already a big plus. And they also try to make it happen. Down here, for example, yes, you have to work at the timing a little bit, but I appreciate the sentiment. Camps are taken now too, so that's going to be a big one. We have 23 stacks on Asmodan so far. Also, Olivia Frost went into the level 1 talent again to stack her damage. Again, you are playing with a Leoric here. You have a couple of stuns and slows with the punish, with the skeleton swing. It really, really, really makes no mathematical sense to go for that level 1 talent. It really doesn't. Make sure that Ace in the Hole is the talent you go for with Jimmy on level 1 if you have any kind of slow on your team. It's just much better in the long run. And the level 4 talent for Jimmy, Fight or Flight, is generically better. I can sometimes understand the Behemoth Armor, but get rid of that. I know, it stacks, it's awesome, and if the game lasts 2 hours, then you actually one-shot people, but that rarely happens, so yeah, need to be a bit careful at that. With that being said, we have now the first objective about to spawn. Again, here comes the stacking process, and this time they actually get all of it. So they have 47 stacks now on Asmodan. We're slowly starting to get into a territory where Asmodan's globe is starting to do some damage, at least to the minion waves. Asmodan should hold his globe back for this one, and then they can get even more. So we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere with this. The stacks on Chromie currently sitting on 5 for the Sandblast quest, and also 4 for a level 1. Here we are again. Gets a few of those hits in, sitting at 55, and slowly and steadily Asmodan is starting to get a little bit of additional wave clear, a little bit of additional pressure onto the shrine, and the late game could actually look good, decent for them around this damage. Level 1 talent with Consume Vitality, Neil Peasants now on the hand of Leoric, so he's going to try and get wave clear too. They're running that pretty supremely here, with basically every single hero starting to spec into it that can. 6 versus 6 in talents, and the earlier position on the shrine for Ruby Wings. Are starting to take this, and now need to be a bit careful with, of course, ETC trying to make the power slide in. Gets 3, the damage hits Ghost, yeah? But, oh, Leoric might get away here. No, he does not. Chromie still delivers the final blow. A few more globes coming out from Asmodan. He's getting the orb through once again, but another power slide locks down Johanna, still at the Iron Skin up, and moves away immediately. So, let's see. Up at the top, position taken over, and they're actually taking also the lead in the minions, so now we can still poke from the outside a bit. Leo is, of course, already back. So with that, they start to take the point again, but they have fallen behind here. Put the pressure onto Genji Benji. He's dodging what he can here, but some of those aren't even hitting. On the other hand, we have Chromie hitting it hard, and she is starting to drop. Good old Jim Raynor with the help of Gul'dan. And there's another big hit coming in, and Salt Creek is going down. Double mage setup on the side of Fools and Heroes, and it works out quite nicely so far. They try to get the burst damage in, and they always deliver here. 19 stacks already for Gul'dan himself. And things are starting to become really, really dicey for Ruby Wings. They're going up against a double mage, and it's just burning them down into the ground pretty easily. And on top of that, we have Tyrande going into the Celestial Attunement. Again, I'm the biggest fan of that talent, but if you go up against the double mage setup, then you kind of want to have the extra spell armor. You really want to go into Khaldor's resistance. That's a big, big tool if you're going up against this many mages. The stuns are still a threat, and I understand it absolutely, but this is definitely the biggest threat for the time being. Here comes the temporal loop, and the kill against Raynor. 4 kills against 0. Salt Creek in trouble. Ooh, barely gets out. Jack Rip is trying to get some kind of damage in with the Sandblast, but nope, not working out. But they took the entire wall. They're also working now on the fountain itself, and this one is going to fall. Bata is sitting at 97 damage at this point in time. Still got a few more hits in against all of those heroes early on, but things are starting to look grim. 32 stacks on the Sandblast for Chromie, 16 stacks nearly completed, 4 ETC on the Prog Rock, and a bit of an adjustment on level 7 with a Master of Destruction. Trying to get the laser build going here. But yeah, things are starting to really look grim. I mean, what they really need to do is they need to get the damage on Asmodan, hit that hard, and combo it off with a setup so that he can get that globe in, and then hopefully try and drop someone quickly, because the macro aspect of the game is currently not looking too great for them with the globe on the other side. And they have a bit of a tendency to walk into that Dragon's Breath. That's another issue. They're stacking too hard. Like right now, the same thing. 3 people walking into this. If there's another Dragon's Breath coming through, you're in trouble. That is also a dead Johanna. Very, very likely. Where's the heal from Tyrande? Nah, comes too late. Actually, it doesn't come at all. And that's the kill right there. And now we have heroic abilities in the hands of Fools and Hero. It's starting to become a bit of a massacre here. 5 kills against 0. 10 ability in the hands too. They're invading the camps now and pushing the bot lane even more. 37 stacks now for Jack Rip on the Sandblast, and he's trying to get a few more in to proceed towards his quest. Yeah, gets a pretty good hit against Jimmy in particular. Up to the top lane, Genji Benji is already pressuring Ghostya even more with that cam that he has there. Could get the drag in now too, and is about to hit that. Yep, there's the drag, there are the hits, and Ghostya is in trouble and has to move away from it. Oh, isolation hitting. He's actually going for the kill. He's trying to get the kill here. I'm not quite sure if he can. Oh my god, he actually gets it. Oh, he gets the kill against Leoric, and that is 6 kills against 0. Experience lost at the top lane, the fort about to fall, and boy, is this game looking hard at this point. This is getting pretty tricky. Up to the top lane, Jimmy trying to save what's there to save. They have level 10 at least by now. And that gives us also the Tide of Sin for Asmodan. So he's still trying to play that with the Orb. 120 stacks, so still 80 away from getting the level 1 quest completed. 280 from getting the base quest done, which also would of course spec into the level 20 if we honestly ever get to that point. Because right now, there's one team running the show. And that's the Fools and Heroes. More heroes than fools, at least in this game. A good cam timing on the other hand. The cam take, the Shaman cam top left at a great time now. But Jimmy, you're a little bit too far out. Need to be careful here. Temporal loop is a thing. And there we have it. And that is a dead Jimmy. Drag should connect. There it is. And down he goes. Even the rest of the team rotated in for the kill. They came a bit late. Shrine is active and gives a slight lead. But you can't be that far out solo if there is a Chromie on the other side that moves towards you with a temporal loop. You just can't do it. Even without the temporal loop, Jimmy would have probably died there because ETC rotated in to cut off the path of retreat. More stacks going, only getting 3 of those of that wave, but they're still pushing through here. With Asmodan, you're oftentimes playing into late game, of course. So you're trying to play a little bit of a late game style where you make sure that you're trying to just wait for the late game, try and poke with the globe, get a lot of map control by simply burning down those minion waves quite easily with that. The problem is if your opponent is running away with his experience and is dominate mid-game and early game and gets too much of a lead, you will rarely have a chance to ever enter that late game scenario on eye level, and that's currently what they have to be afraid of. If they can hit maybe an Entomb onto Dehaka, that might be a good one, but they're trying to at least get a fort. I like that. The problem is that they're a little bit slow with it. And there's already a rotation coming by 4 heroes. Basically, everybody is moving in for that. Yep, and that might be another kill. I mean, there's like 13 talents already in. Blessed Shield, Hyperion. They're trying to make the play. Mosh Pit, baby! Immediately interrupted. Nicely done. Goes into the short cooldown as Johanna has to condemn. But they still are about to get the kill against Salt Creek. Salt Creek barely gets away from this one. Turanda with the mass heals down here. Bata is in trouble. Turanda trying to help out. Maybe gets the heal through. And could survive, should survive. Nope, is dead. I'm actually surprised that Turana didn't heal. Should have had the cooldown back up, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Ghost, yeah, is low and he dies too, and that's a double kill. And the Punisher, by the way, has gone through the mid lane, is now also starting to work onto that. And of course, since nobody baits him over the entire time, he's getting massive value. And with the bottom push, this means that all 3 forts are going to be eliminated. So definitely not a good moment for Ruby Wings. They are down by 9 kills. And their Asmodan is only looking at 160 stacks. The wall in the middle have fallen. All of the forts are down. Asmodan gets some damage in. Gets a few more stacks out of this one, but it's rough. I mean, it's really tricky for them. They lost so much control already. That double mage setup just works out quite nicely. And they have massive problems dealing with Chromie just in general. It was already a bit of transparent on Volskaya. 40,000 for Chromie now. Jack Rip getting those hits in the entire time, doing really well, especially around the Dragon's Breath, just connecting them over and over again. And it doesn't really help that there's a global on the opponent's team too that can simply soak the damage on the other side of the map. So, move topside, took the wave just as it came through, and 16 is so close for them now that for the next objective, it should play a massive role here with that lead. And then it's a big question, what are you going to do when you're Ruby Wings? You lost all the forts, you're going to be a talent behind. How do you play around it? Do you force a fight now? I mean, they don't, so they don't seem to be willing to do that. But when exactly are you going to fight? Because the next Punisher is going to be strong, it's going to be mid lane, and it might be keep number 1 in the game. So do you let that go too and try and fight on 16 versus 16, or what's going to be the play for them? We have 16 talents in, 14 on the other side. Here comes again the drag. It actually connects. The power slide is a bit too early. They're trying to go for better. Asmodan might be able to walk away from this one. And yep, but Tyrande isn't all that lucky. The Horrify pulled her back in. Now they're trying to go for Johanna, and Johanna dies too. ETC slides too early, and therefore Asmodan is able to walk away, but we still see them take 2 kills. Hyperion, as Olivia Frost is trying to push them back, but now the rotation towards the camp, trying to steal that 2. Kill after kill after kill. It's 11 kills against 0 right now. It's just absolutely nuts. Quest completed for Asmodan. Level 1 is done. Of course, he's still looking for 200 more stacks if he wants to complete the baseline. But he at least gets that. You have a little bit of macro control through your trade, of course, too, if you're playing Asmodan. But they are already working on those fountains. They have camps at the top lane, camps at the bot lane. Everybody needs to rotate over. There's catapults in here. The shrine isn't activated yet, but with all the mage poke that they have, they're starting to put the pain onto the keep itself. And it's still a 2-level lead for them. More damage coming in from Chromie. It's actually starting to be a little bit insane. I mean, her damage is just out of this world now. With the base quest completed, that continues even more. And it seems like they're just trying to grab the camp here and then move straight into the middle for the shrine. I mean, the damage output at this point, just to give you guys a bit of an idea. We have currently... I mean, look at that. Look at the discrepancy. 45,000 for Chromie, and now look towards the left side. The highest damage dealer is Reyna with 13,000. That's a third. It's not even a third of the damage that Chromie has. And I mean, the entire team together can barely keep up with her. So it is insane. And on top of that, you have also Dehaka and Gul'dan with basically 20,000 each. It's tough. It's really tough. Trying to make the play for Leoric. Now they're greeding a little bit for that. Should just go for the shrine before the 16 hits, because let's not forget Ruby Wings, once they get 16, they can fight on an even talent here. That's what they're trying to do. And now they have 16. They're going to fight for this, and they have to. They have to, and they have some Asmodam damage now if he gets those globes through, and they're trying to fight for that. Talents are being picked. Yep, Pain and Rat, awesome. So a bit more sustain on this side, and also the total annihilation. So that could help too. They're starting to move in. First few hits are coming through. Ult's not really being used yet, besides the Tide of Sin. The move in. ETC with the Mosh Pit, only catching one, and it's immediately interrupted. And again, Asmodan with the damage to Horrify. They're trying to slide onto Johanna. Chromie is in trouble. Gets the time out, but might still fall. Chromie is going to be attacked pretty soon, and let's see if she survives this one. No, she doesn't. And that's the first kill. Ruby Wings is fighting back. Leoric is moving away after he gets the isolation to his face. And all of a sudden, Ghostia is starting to take the shrine minions and trying to get the lead for them. Salt Creek is a bit low. The dragon is there. The drain against Genji Benji in the back line, and it's a 4 versus 5. Leo might still die, but even if Tirana can't save him with the death of Alexstrasza, it's a lead for them. And they're going to another one. Asmodan is looking for the globe. Does he have the cooldown? And he does. No, he doesn't get the kill. But it's a close call. Leoric falls regardless, and someone has to get the hell back to base to make sure that that keep at the top lane doesn't die, but they're going to get a punish out of this. They should wait. Get it to 39, get it to 39, and then wait for whoever defends the top lane. Dehaka is already pushing this in. Don't take it, 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 don't take it. So the longer they would have delayed this, the better for them, because we're definitely going to see level 20 for the next Punisher phase. But if Ruby Wings delays this for a long time, they might see 22 at that time. And they can always grab it with like the last minion with a quick hit from Asmodan. They save this for now. Or do they? Yes, they do. But how much do they get at the bot lane? Ooh! They get ETC! Ah, yummy beef. Alright, and ETC proc the Punisher jump apparently too, so they get even more value out of it. Finally it jumps over, but that's already a bit late. And let's see how much Ruby Wings gets here. They rotate Leoric back down. That might be a mistake, because that top keep will lose to a fort, to a catapult once that comes in. But they're going to get a keep here. They're going to get a keep if they play this right now. Even more hits coming from Asmodan. He's sitting at 330. And now they have to back off. Back off, save the top lane, send someone to deal with this. But the problem that they still face, and this is the one thing that I'm concerned about, is that they must get level 20 for the next shrine. And to be honest, 2 levels, that's not out of the question. You can definitely make that play. But can someone please go down on my... Look at that experience. They're losing all of it. Where's Asmodan when he needed? The stacks alone. That's Asmodan stacks right there. You want 20, and you also want to make sure that you have enough stacks for 400 so that Asmodan is getting all the value. Yeah, but again, you want to delay that shrine a little bit, grabbing the Punisher there, just so that your top laner can move back down after he defended. That's one thing. If your opponent moves back in to try and retake it, you can simply throw one Asmodan Globe in from a distance and you're going to get it there. So you can definitely make that. They still got the keep at the bot lane because ETC was a bit too far out and then got attacked. But now they have to get that level 20, and that's the only concern here. So 20... Well, it's actually 2 concerns. You have to get 20 and you want to get the 40... the 400 stacks for Asmodan, so that means that right now they need another 60 roughly. Which is all fair and well, but don't get baited into a fight right now. That's the one thing that you want to avoid, so don't go too far out. Asmodan can't... Don't take this, don't take this, don't take... They need those stacks for Asmodan, really. You need to complete that quest right now. They are hurting themselves. There's so many waves that are pushing through here, and the only thing you have to do is really just wait and play it slow. You need to wait for 20 anyways, but you need that quest completed. I'm actually a little bit shocked that they're not trying to take these waves. They could easily get those 400. But they're misplaying this heavily right now. And Asmodan is probably, during the fight, still gonna get it, but again, personally, I would like to complete that as quickly as I possibly can. And there's still 40 out, and now there's another big wave that they can take right here. I mean, damage numbers have, of course, now started to skyrocket up a little bit, and they're not taking the wave, actually. Not quite sure why. That's the easiest wave of their life. I mean, they're right there. They don't have vision, so I think they're currently worried that someone is sniping the top. They have their level 20. For now, but the level 20 on Asmodan, as I said before, is basically not going to do jack shit. You need the 400 Annihilation. He's still 25 out, that he could have had a long time ago already. Shrine is activating, and they should still get it. I mean, you have another big wave coming in, another one topside. So yeah, Asmodan should definitely complete it here. Come on, boys, don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint me. No, wait. Okay. 77, but what about this now? Don't take it, don't take it. No, don't, no, please, stop, no! You want it, come on, it's 23. No, there's another one. Ah, it just throws it here. Alright, so they give up on the damage. I guess we're not going to see that in the fight here. Once again, we're starting to move in. If I was Asmodan, I would have yelled at them the entire time. Leave my stacks alone! Get away from my wave. This is my minion wave. Well, the fight is on, and the Entomb is perfect on Chromie! Kill her! Kill her! No, they didn't! And now she's timeouted, and Leo with the death right there. Oh, Salt Creek, he's about to fall. He's actually saved. ETC slides in, he gets 1 in the mosh pit, is immediately interrupted. Asmodan completes his shitty talent. Just as the fight is over, he completes it. Oh, down here, catapults have done a little bit of damage against the core. But yeah, Asmodan completes the quest just as the fight is over. God, if they would have bounced onto Chromie as Leoric hits the Entomb, they could have killed her here. But now this is going to be tough. Yeah, the hits keeps coming, but this is going to be probably 2 keeps. Maybe even core, but 2 keeps at the least. And this is tough. This is going to be tough. Yeah, Asmodan's laser is actually with the rest of the team starting to burn this down pretty quickly, but it might still be core. 1 keep is down, and you can see they're already eyeing the keep topside. It's 1 shot that you need and not more than that. But they go for the core now. Here's the temporal loop. The Punisher jumps in too, just for the lulz. And they're getting Johanna. Jojo is down, and the core is being attacked. And this should be the end of the series as Fools and Heroes go for the match victory on Infernal Shrines, burning it down as quickly as they can. Ruby Wings, after winning game number 1, loses the best of 3 match in Division 7 here, as Fools and Heroes are victorious, taking down the core and deciding the match in their favor. GG, and well played.